Welcome back to another video, guys. Today I'm here with Francis and he has this very nice Sworks SL6. I think this is a custom paint job, right?
Yes.
I used to own a specialized SL6. I don't know why people will buy Sworks, because I think it's more of a, for me when I bought the SL6, right, it was priced and I really like the shape of the SL6. I had a very similar setup. And then I had the NV, this SES56, and then I moved on to the Venge because I think the SES56 looks a bit too much for the SL6 because it's meant to be a climbing bike, but of course a personal preference. Francis, thank you so much for coming over to my place, and could you just run us through your bike?
Okay, thanks for having me. Well, this is Tarmac SL6 S-Works version, custom paint job by what's the name? Eric from Paint Extreme. Yeah, Paint Extreme is a friend of mine. So he customized the paint, but I already have what I had in mind lah. So the whole idea of this paint gradient is, you know, from purple to blue to black. It's all about, you know, it's almost like chasing dawn. Yeah, sunrise, you chase, you cycle towards the sun. That's quite my kind of route every day lah. To along Changi coastal. Yeah. So you see the beautiful sunrise, it reminds me of this bike color. So why S-Works is because I used to have a Fact 9 specialized version, but I think that's a Fact 9. So of course, marketing hype and all. The whole idea is that you never ride a Fact 12, you never know how a Fact 12 feels, right? But to be honest, same lah. Yeah. So the whole idea is when I build in this bike is about just blink it all up and there's do full customization. So that's a good reason why I want to do that, because well, I got into cycling like 12 years ago, and then I stopped when my daughter, my wife gave birth to the daughter, and then we really spent a lot of time with the kid lah. So then I gave up cycling for 5-6 years. Then now I make a comeback. So I had a BMC time machine, and everything is very proprietary. And while I ride that bike, it felt very clinical. And everything is very cold and machinery, you know. So gone are the days of souping up nice road bikes that you can change your seat post, you can change your stand length, your handlebar, your drop, everything. So I reckon that is why I opt for something that is not like an SL7, not an SL5, but the best of both worlds, somewhere in between where I can do customization. Yeah.
Before we go into details of the bike specs and everything, right? Were you trying to convert this bike into an aero bike because of the deep wheels, or was it meant to be a climbing bike?
It's supposed to be a climbing bike. I had the Rovel Alpine CLX. That one is about 1.28 kg, so pretty light. Why I put this on is because of my main cycling route lah, that is along the coastal road, and I think MV 5.6 is a beautiful set of wheels. I initially wanted to opt for the 7.8 when I had my time machine, but I felt quite nervous lah. I think when the very strong side wind hits you, I can still feel it with this, you know, but definitely more stable than other carbon wheels that I've tried lah. So the 5.6, although deep set, it is very stable and planted lah. So when we go on a high speed above 40, it gives you that forward motion. So it's like a spin flywheel. So when the starting is sluggish. Okay, and then but once you picked up speed, I think the rest you just follow and push you forward lah. You just have to maybe 60% of the strength that you from 0 to 40, and then from there you just maintain 50-60% of the strength you input. It's almost like drafting lor. Then you just propel forward. Yeah.
What is your height and the frame size?
My height is 175. This frame is a 52. rightly I should be on a 54 lah. But I feel climbing bike, I just like the aggression and agility of a SL6. So when I opt for this, I decided to go for one size smaller. Okay, 52. And then, but I had a 110 stem length, and I feel more agile and more dynamic when I ride. Yeah.
So, like I've mentioned earlier, or in my previous videos, I always say that the SL7 looks horrendous because they butchered the thing, the bike from a climbing bike and aero bike. But I'll leave it to that personal preference. And back to sizing, because I used to own the SL6, but I upsized, or I didn't say upsize, I got the size from the chart, which was a 54. I'm a 173. But the thing is, when I slammed my stem, I couldn't run a stem any longer than 100. So I had to go with a 90, which looks really, really ugly on the bike. So people in my comments always say, oh, the bike is too small for them and stuff like that. But I don't know. I tried going upsize, but I felt a bit comfortable. But the thing is, because of my reach, I couldn't do anything more than 100. Anyway, so can you just tell us a bit more of the bike? Because I think the parts are very special. You have Darimo, Dura Ace, 4i, ceramics, POS, PW, which I am going to come to later, and also your brakes.
Okay, so like I say, why not SL7 but an SL6? Firstly, I like the cables lah. Okay, not that it's going to save me any watts, but I feel that if I want to do any adjustment, it's a lot easier. I can do it on my own. I don't have to go to the mechanics. I don't have to dismount everything and rebleed my brake kits, you see. So this bike, what it has is everything quite customized. Darimo seat pole. This is less than 100 gram, and it's no setback, 0. So I can go further forward. So why this size is a 52, and therefore I can slam the stem. And then I have a 110, so it looks very balanced. The cockpit is THM carbon, which is the lightest carbon in the market. The computer mount is a Carbonworks. It took a month to reach, and then for the longest time I always strap on a rubber band with my bike computer. Yeah, and then of course the brakes. The rotors on the stock bike is a 160 and a 140 at the rear. Why that? Because I to save some weight, but since then I have upgraded both to a 160. And also I changed the calipers to a Hopetech RX4 Plus. And why this color is to match the bike lor. Yeah, and then of course the Dura Ace mechanical group set. Why mechanical? Good question. I wanted this bike to be full mechanical, as I tried many DI tools and I like it. They shift very well, but I just want a bit of an old school charm in this fella, because I'm expecting other bikes along the way on the way, so they'll be soup with the 12-speed Dura Ace also. So I thought this one, we just want to, if it's a keeper, then I want to make it mechanical, yeah.
Okay. And the hanger is a special one. The CGE hanger.
CGE hanger, yes. I had this on my old bike. I took it down with on my specialized non-S-Works version. That's a special SL6 com. Yeah, with the Ultegra. So just nice. It matches the color. It shave off some weight, and it's very stiff. Yeah, I think it's a good improvement of the bling to the bike. Yeah.
Can I guess the price of the bike? I am thinking it is about 15k SGD. Am I close, or is it more or less than that?
I'm quite close. So plus the paint job, plus everything in, is about 17 plus 18. Yeah.
Okay. So the bulk of the cost, I would think, besides the frame, is the wheels and the carbon parts, right?
Yeah. Those add-ons I mean the cockpit alone is really about near 2,000 already. Okay. Just cockpit alone, yeah.
And what bars are there? I don't know if you talk about the
handlebar is a THM. It is 400 width. Yeah.
Okay. The saddle is still not a power mirror. Why no power mirror?
To be honest, never tried a power mirror. Okay. They say it's very comfortable. I used to have many Aliantes, physics Aliante. That fits me very well. Until then, I thought, wow, this saddle looks damn cool. On some other Instagram stories, so I decided to go for it. Berk's saddle. It's very thinly padded, but I think the whole idea is that if the saddle feels right, it takes the shape of your butt. It should give you a lot of comfort and so far, to be honest, not vanity seek. I feel that this is the best saddle I have ever ridden. This is the technology from Darimo. This seems very old school, ancient okay, primitive in fact. But in fact, this is one of the strongest string that money can buy. It's virtually indestructible It's called Dynama string. So I believe it has carbon composite in it. So the whole idea is you loop it around these two cylinder, and then you tighten the nuts, the bolts, and then it will secure, and then it has a very tight thing. So similarly, if you loosen the front, it will go down. If you tighten the front, it will go up. So the two is like a balancing act. So the idea is you adjust either way to tilt your saddle forward or backwards. Yeah. Not really hard to adjust. So once the two are on tension already, before tensioning, I think maybe it's a bit tough. But once they are both on tension already, I think it's okay. So all you need to do is to just tighten the front more, loosen the front more.
The bolts
Yeah.
But then what about the thread? How do you
The thread is the thread is not stretchable one. So when you loop it, that time it is a bit flimsy. But however, once you tighten the bolt, once two are on tension already, slight tension, then you begin to adjust front back until you get the level you want. Yep.
I'm going to guess the weight as well. Just now when I was moving the bike around, I felt really, really light for a disc brake bike. So I would guess 7.2. Is that correct?
With this set of wheels, it's about 7 kg, 7.50 grams.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. With the Rovel, it will be about 6.8 lah. We shave one out 200-300.
So since you've been riding for, I would say you're a seasoned cyclist, about 12 years, no? Amateur cyclist, okay. OSPW is very, I wouldn't say it's very, very new lah, but it's more of like the new hype and everything. Do you think it makes any difference?
Honestly, no. Okay, but I think this is like the kind of a jewelry lor. Women wear jewelry on themselves, men wear maybe one diamond or this is like the bling factor lah. Okay, to be honest, it's not wrong without one. This is the dumbest upgrade you can spend on the bike lah. To be honest, it's about $800 and now when I had it, it cost 600 only. This was for my old bike lah. So 600 is still not so vulgar, but I think 800 is a bit too much. Yeah. So but I have friends who installed it. They say it felt smoother, but definitely the shifting not as sharp as the stock. Confirm.
I think aside of it being smoother and saving watts, people do tell me that the shifting is more crisp. But again, I cannot comment because I've never tried it. So now that everyone is on OSPW, right, it makes my bike look funny. Like I'm the odd one out because I don't have an OSPW. Okay, before we move on to Instagram Q&A, can you just wrap up your bike? What is the performance? How is it like? And anything that you would still want to upgrade or don't like about the bike?
Okay, performance. This bike feels very lively lah. So when I accelerate, it just goes. Of course, I have many bikes. I've tried SL7, I've tried Pinarello F12. I have my own time machine. But this is definitely not as stiff as the time machine. Okay, but when it accelerates, it's just go. I like the agility of it. Like I mentioned previously, the whole dynamism of it. If you see a pothole, very quickly you go. That's why I feel that when it's important to buy a bike, you understand the bike geometric. Okay, so when you ride it, this is a downsized version. A 54 might feel more planted, okay, along a straight course. But I feel a smaller one, you see very potholes or what, you can certainly avoid them in quicker time than the 54 . And then of course climbs like perfect . It's just like the last descent. I had the Corsa tires on, then it had a bit of a accident, but luckily I didn't scratch the bike. So yeah, see.
Oh man.
Yeah, a bit lah.
GP5000 or Corsa?
GP5000 for sure. But I since recently discovered Turbo Cotton as well, specialized, and it feels really good, man. So I have yet to do a full review, but so far I ride 3 times on the Turbo Cottons. I love it. Yeah.
Any more upgrades onto the bike, or still done?
I cannot find anything else to upgrade. The whole bike is all the bolts are all titanium already. Yeah, they're full titanium. So all the rainbow hues and all you see, they're all titanium bolts. And then of course, everything else, even the cap, even the chain saver, it's all carbon. And there's really nothing else to change really.
So this and your time machine, so this is more of your go-to bike every day?
Yes, for sure lah. When I had the specialized com, I tend to ride that more than the time machine. It's very strange. But time machine is a nice solo ride kind of a bike. You go, you don't feel lonely. You just you and the bike and just plug into some music and then enjoy the pushing your limits. But this one is a more social thing. Yeah. I ride more with friends on this bike lah. Yeah.
Forgot to come back onto the power meter 4i. Is this a single-sided or dual-sided? It's dual-sided. Why? What's the decision on buying a crank-based power meter and not a pedal one?
I have the pedal ones lying around, but I had also some issues with them lah. They're not so very accurate. Okay, yeah. So when I put that on with my crank power meter, what was that? The power to max. I have a crank based one, and then I plug in the power meter, the pedal based one together. I use it, so some fluctuation. It's not very consistent. Sometimes it just it shows 0 and then it goes up again. But definitely, if you're in the market to save weight or save cost, and usability wise, I think pedal ones are the one to go to. But if you think that you don't want to change your bike, I mean the crank one, as I just done my research, is the most accurate around lah.
Okay. Sorry, last one. The S-Works, that silverish, whatever they call it, the sticker, doesn't really sit properly, right? Or is it intentional?
So when Eric painted it, right, I keep buying bikes. Then before I know it, I got 4 bikes two along the way, Then I say, hey Eric, I tell you what lah, just spray it and then sell it, right? So I had the idea of having the matte thing. So he said, okay, then I make your logo black lah. Then he made the logo black. Definitely is smaller lah. So I bought the Venge decal over. Then I realized, the sizing's not the same. Slightly, the Venge one is bigger lah. So I think it's okay. It adds a bit of a texture to the back, which I find is quite interesting. So okay lah. I think it's part of personalization. Yeah.
Okay, we move on to Instagram Q&A. You guys want to ask your questions, follow me on Instagram and you will get the chance to ask your question. Okay, Francis, are you ready? The first one. I don't know if you can answer this question, but let's give it a shot. Is the SL6 a faster version of the ATOS? Can you answer that question? Because you know the ATOS.
I have nearly bought an ATOS, but I think ATOS is lighter, but this is aero. So yeah, but SL7 is heavier but more aero. This is lighter and less aero. So if you ask me, this is the best of between the ATOS and the SL7. If you ask me, I think this should be faster, but will be slower on climbs.
Given a choice, will you choose the SL7 or ATOS? Only one. Which one would you want?
ATOS.
ATOS? What?
Yeah, because ATOS is a more classic and timeless look. And similarly, I can change everything. SL7 proprietary, I cannot. I can only use the. Of course, there are diary modes, right? But I think even for ATOS, the whole capacity to upgrade is even wider, the range, because of the round seat posts and all. Everything is just very standard bike build sizes. I can really use the best of everything, the best of the third party, best handlebar, best stem in its class, best seat post in its class, and then before you know it, it will be the kind of a dream bike you want to have, lor.
But the ATOS is not a cheap bike, and to be honest, I agree with what you say that everything is not proprietary. That's a good thing. You can buy third-party parts at your own pleasure, right? But the frame is so normal looking, man. I mean, they could have done something better to that frame.
Because good design is timeless, ma. So you don't need you don't need square tubes. In fact, round tubes are very, very nice, and it gives a sense of, it's not so aggressive. People take you lightly, but you guess what? The frame is 400 grams lighter. 400 grams. You go climbing, you try 400. Every grams counts. And you wasted so much money on all this just to shave 20 grams. But guess what? ATOS, you get the frame alone is 400 grams shaved. And then of course when you go up, you're 400 grams faster lah.
Okay, I will move on. I love this question. Why a 4-piston brake caliper on a road bike? Do you really need it?
No, I don't. Confirm. But it's more for bling factor. And then of course you always if you drive, you understand 4 ports brakes, 6 ports brakes, the more the better, right? So you always, that driver side of you will tell you, hey, the logical side of you, the cyclist side of you say you don't need. In fact, you all you need is a 140, not a 160, 140 stock. Okay, this is a 160, 160. But the driver side of you tell you bigger brakes has more stopping power. Hence, when you descend, you are in full control. No worries. That you have that confidence. And I can tell you, I think when you go 40 kilometers per hour, the stopping power of this is about a few meters more, about 5 meters more to come to a zero.
Which is the next follow-up question on the brakes. Is there a significant difference between braking power or modulation with the Hope RX4 versus a Shimano stock brake pads?
Oh, definitely this one is a great improvement. To be honest, people use this for mountain bike, gravel bikes. The stopping power is definitely a lot way more than the stock Shimanos. But to be honest, if you are on flats, you don't really need it. But guess what? This is the kind of bike that you want to soup it up, right? Bling factor. So the idea and the whole fun part of customizing a bike is about researching, reading, finding the part, and of course we're in the middle of a bike demic, right? So to be honest, I was having difficulty finding parts. Even I couldn't lay my hands on the Dura Ace Groupset also. So I had to buy part by parts to put them up together. And then of course the brake I had to order from eBay. Yeah, eBay. Yeah, I got it from eBay. Even T3 don't have. Okay. So yeah.
I love the term you use, bike demic. First time I've heard this, I think I'll be using it every time. I love this question also. What's the owner's favorite component of the bike? Maybe you gotta take some time to think about it. Please don't tell me OSPW.
No. It's a very close fight between the brake calipers and the cockpit. The cockpit is what you see every day, every ride, every hour, every time. So I think I don't quite like all the current new clinical bikes, aero bars. It feels very clinical and cliche lah. So I think to have a bit of a personality, one should always have their own cockpit customized, right? So for here, I choose my 2-piece THM, not the 1-piece one, but because 1-piece, I think if you break one, you got to replace both, right? So for 2 pieces, there's more variety and selection for the length and the whatever.
Yeah, nowadays everyone is coming with integrated cockpit. You cannot play around with the stem length, handlebar. So imagine if you just want to change the stem, right? You got to buy the whole entire thing, which is ridiculous. But then again, it's more seamless and looks much better lah. It's a give and take. Did you ever think of a custom NV logo, purple or silver, to match the S-Works font?
For the wheels, no.
Why not?
It feels very too much. So when we do customization or what, I think to a point where it's like a piece of art lah. So when you paint, then you know, okay, it's done, you know. But you keep on adding and adding. There's no end. Okay. Can I paint this to purple? Can I paint, you know, have a sticker to purple? Can I have this? Then it becomes too much. Then it takes away the attention. I think the NV wheels are nice as they are. Black. It's almost like photography. You have a black background, then your attention, you draw people's attention to the frame. So this is actually serve like the outline of a canvas, and then this is of course the main canvas.
Does this bike hold speeds as easily as an aero bike like a Venge?
I have never ridden a Venge, but Venge is a really nice bike. But I think so far with these wheels, it holds the speed very well. Definitely, yeah.
Maybe I can answer that question because I rode a Specialized SL6. Similar setup, same wheels, and then I moved over to the Venge. And I found that, yes, initially my thought was, you know, aero bikes are just a fad and a marketing thing. But it actually does, it's easier to maintain speeds, but to accelerate it's a bit more tougher because of maybe it's the weight. Yeah, that's just my thought. Last question, not related to the bike. Which bank do you work for?
I don't work for banks.
Okay, then what do you do for a living? How do you afford this bike?
Wow, I save no lah. I work very hard. I'm in the advertising industry. I have a few clients, bank clients also. So, but I don't make as much money as them. But obviously, everybody has their priorities. So for me, you know, my daughters are growing up and nice. Then I have many other hobbies. So this is one of them. Recently, I got back after like 5 years of absence, right? So I thought like, okay, so the bike has evolved so much, the bike industry. The technology has elevated so much that even the DI tools, they shift so sharp, you know. So I'm very curious what they offer on the top spectrum. So I will find money for it. Yeah.
You watch my videos, right? You know my last question?
Yes, I'm subscribed.
You are subscribed? Hey, thanks, man. I think we've already cut the 30-minute mark. Let's just end it here unless you have anything else to top up. All good? Okay, hey, Francis, thank you so much, man. And I know you guys submitted a lot of questions. I'm sorry I cannot answer all of it. Thank you so much for submitting your questions. I think that's the end of the video. Let's film the rest of the bike. And Francis, thank you so much again.